Welcome to the FanDuel Punch Out. I'm Jason Gilbo, JGilbo11. With me is Russell Clay at Russell J. Clay. Taking a look at tonight's 12-game slate here. Does include cores. Also includes a couple top price pitchers that are certainly playable, which kind of causes us to dig down for value a little bit here.
Yeah. Again, much like DraftKings, I think you're kind of going to be a lot of different ways to differentiate yourself. But other than that, I mean, pretty straightforward, I think.
Yeah, it is. Jumping into catcher here, and this one's a little bit different. I think these guys are priced up a little bit higher as far as points per dollar wise. More than I would like. A guy like Posey at 4K is kind of steep on this slate.
But then you have Victor Martinez at 3,700, which you kind of like. You kind of like that price, and especially at a position where sometimes you struggle to find offense. So, yeah, no, I definitely like that call.
Yeah, me too. Victor Martinez, I mean, that's the one difference FanDuel has him as catcher, so you like that. The leader's price tag at 3,200 is not that bad. I don't mind him. He's hit lefties fairly well. It's just the one thing that you don't know what you're going to get from Rodriguez on his first start back from the DL. So I think this Baltimore team's kind of just a GPP only for me.
Yeah, exactly. I think they're an interesting GPP team, but GPP only for tonight, especially against this very volatile pitching situation.
Yeah. But overall, I mean, I'm kind of looking to dig down. Tyler Flowers was a guy we touched on. I'm not afraid of this offense against Peavy. Flowers kind of being one of the honorable mentions there, and him and Stephen Vogt, 26 and 2,400, just kind of seem to be the way to drop down at catcher to be able to spend up elsewhere.
That will be the direction I'm headed, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, Vogt, been up and down this year, but obviously, it's a decent matchup for him. Flowers has been kind of consistent hitting in that middle of the lineup there. So, first base, and once again, I think Ortiz is kind of just a lock at number one, but on that price, I don't think I can see myself paying it too often. I mean, GPP only for me. I think cash, you really need to spin down.
Yeah, especially with some of the good options at pitching tonight. I don't think you can really pay that price and feel comfortable with rostering the rest of your lineup.
Yeah. And I mean, Miguel Cabrera, it was only $100 difference on DK here at 7.
Yeah.
So that is a noticeable one. Well, how do you feel about Brandon Belt here on FanDuel? I know you're a fan of him on DraftKings, but his price is considered a little bit different here.
Give me Cabrera every time. That's not even close. So, yeah, I'm going with Cabrera there, and pretty much takes the rest of that range out for me.
It's kind of a similar situation. You have guys like Anthony Rizzo, Edwin Encarnacion, Joey Votto as far as kind of GPP options. Is Votto kind of a cash game guy for you at 38?
Yeah, no, I like that. But again, he's still in that same range of Cabrera, so it's close. I think when you really start to get down to Rizzo and a Matt Adams and stuff like that, I think that's where it's sort of a different range that you can look at things differently. But 38 to 41, I think, is just dominated by that Cabrera price.
Yeah, Matt Adams is a guy that you just named, and he's a guy who's kind of a top 3 first baseman for me tonight, just because price considered. A great matchup against Willie Peralta, struggles with lefties, big home run upside here, going against a home run prone Peralta, and in that ballpark, it's great park factors for both sides of the plate, and Adams is heating up, and I really like this Cardinals offense quite a bit.
Definitely.
If you look lower, is a guy like Freddie Freeman play against PV as far as the GPP guys go?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I like that. He wasn't really on my radar, to be honest with you, but yeah, that's an okay tournament call. For his price, yeah.
Yeah, PV's obviously he's not.
Yeah,
I
don't know why that didn't register for me before, but yeah, that's a pretty solid option.
Moving to second base here, and this is kind of similar situation. I can't really pay up at this position tonight unless I'm just rolling out some stack and a cheap pitcher. It's just they're way too expensive. I'm not all aboard on the matchup as far as a one-off play, so I think I'd rather just kind of spin down.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's just easier to pay down here and sort of pay up. If you're going to actually pay up, I think you pay up at first for like in that same range, just Cabrera or or some of the outfielders. I mean, I know there's some Coors bats that are pretty reasonably priced today. So I don't think you're looking to pay up here.
Yeah, and speaking of Coors bats, DJ LeMahieu comes in at a kind of under appreciated price tag in comparison to Coors. 3,400 is not a bad price tag.
Mhm.
Moscow's an average right-hander, so certainly playable. I like him. I love Neil Walker at 3K. I think that's kind of where I'm looking a lot, just because I do think that 400 is going to come in handy somewhere else. And Neil Walker heating up, Latos back to his usual kind of ways. So I think this Mets team is, because of their struggles of late, they've run into some tough stretches of pitching. The price tags are lower than usual, and I don't mind them as far as one-offs go.
Yeah, no, I like Walker at 3K. I think that's a good call.
Yeah. Outside of that, I mean, we don't have a dirt cheap Gordon Beckham like we did on DK. It's a little bit different here.
Mm-hmm.
Does a guy like Jed Lowry, if he's hitting in the middle of the lineup, pop up for you? I think 2,500 is not a bad price
Again,
tag.
we talked about those two late games as sort of you look for one-offs in those games. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, 8.5 over under for both those. I think it's certainly playable. Really, between all four teams there.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at third base, and this is kind of a spot where we're looking to pay up. I think Arnado is kind of an easy call, but there is a nice $1,100 discount from him to Carpenter, and I think that's where I'm going to be leaning today.
Yeah, Carpenter at 35 is a steal. That's like buy one get one free of like your favorite food or something. So, yeah, that
Really setting the bar high there, Russell.
sorry, buy one get two free. Yeah, no, I like that quite a bit. I think that's going to be the chalk too. I think people are going to look at that price and just throw them in. So probably be higher owned in tournaments, but I mean, again, that's fine. Sometimes you just go with what that's the right play, you know?
Yeah, and I think if you're looking, I mean, Arnado 44, I mean, certainly a playable. I mean, he's definitely a guy to look at in GPPs, but cash wise, I still think Carpenter at that price discount is kind of where it's at.
Right.
Nick Castellanos, an interesting GPP swerve. I mean, we talked about Santiago being a possible target tonight for a lot of Tigers' power. 166 home run per nine to righties since 2014. Castellanos is a guy last year who hit lefties very well. This year it's a little bit different, but overall at 3,300, I think with that power, he's worth a GPP look.
Definitely. And then I think when you look real low, Hernan Perez 2,600 against I believe Leak. Yes. Yeah, I think you can throw him in there. I'm not too like as we said in the pitcher pod, Leak's out on our right option, but for that value, I think you got a pretty decent shot there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, him, Aaron Hill, I mean, certainly they got some upside. I think this Brewers team does have some upside against Leak tonight, kind of a sneaky option. And at those prices, you aren't taking really a huge risk.
Right.
Alex Rodriguez, 3K. He was the guy you kind of mentioned as a possible
1-for-4 with a homer.
1-for-4 with a homer target. And I
Yeah.
think if you call that, I mean, that'll be lovely because that just seems like such a logical outcome for him tonight.
Yeah, with 2 strikeouts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And maybe like a rollover ground into a double play ball or something like that.
Man.
Josh Donaldson, I mean, we haven't really broken into the Toronto bats here on the FanDuel pod yet, but I see him as kind of boom or bust tonight, and I think GPP-wise, that's where they stay, and that's about it for me.
But more as a stack than or not as a stack, I should say. More as I like them individually more than together tonight. I think one gets a homer or something like that, and then maybe one gets a double and an RBI or something. But I don't see the full stack paying off tonight.
Mm-hmm. And jumping back to second base, Devin Travis at 2,200. If he's in line as one of the better punt options there tonight. I don't mind him in cash games just because of price considered. That's a big time salary relief for a good player.
Right.
So, but jumping over, we're looking at shortstop, and this one, it's a little bit different for me. I kind of want to pay down here, but once again, there's options that are a little bit overpriced for me. I think
Yeah, give me a lot of Miss Diaz at 2,900 over Bogarts at 47. That's just a huge difference in price for two guys in good matchups. So Brad Miller too, 2,900. No, I'm not paying up. I'm not paying up here tonight.
Yeah, I'm all over Diaz at that price, especially if he's hitting the top of the lineup. Even if he's not, I'm still all over him.
Hmm.
I like the Brandon Crawford range of 3,200 there against Whistler. I think he's an intriguing GPP option for me here. Um, if you are paying up, Trevor Story at 4,200 just seems to be kind of it's a nice come down option to
Yeah.
Bogarts, and at the
He
same price as Machado, I'll take the Coors
Story
bat.
can definitely pay that off. I'm not saying those guys can't. It's just a huge difference in price. That's like pitcher difference in price, you know?
Yeah, and there's not really a punt option, so I think if you're looking, it's Diaz just seems to be about the lowest you can go, and it's a pretty safe option.
Hmm.
How do you feel about Cozart on FanDuel here?
I don't like his price quite that much. I mean, I do still think he has upside, but I'm looking to either pay up for Story, maybe get Villar, or jump down to that 2900 range.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I think it's just kind of you look at Arrieta. I mean, he's going to put your lineup in a little bit of a stranglehold. 2,800 though, not bad. So I think a guy like Diaz kind of just fits right in there.
Mhm.
Looking over at outfield here, and I mean, you got Charlie Blackmon who kind of leads the way up top as far as a Coors outfielder goes. But once again, Carlos Gonzalez not quite priced as highly as he should be, 3,900. I expect his ownership to be extremely high and one that I would be kind of not wanting to fade.
Just do it. 50+% owned in tournaments. I'm feeling, but that's fine. Just do it. Who cares? Roll it out there. Plug him into every lineup. Who cares? Just keep saying say sentences and then period. Who cares? And then start the next sentence and just whenever Carlos Gonzalez gets brought up, just do it. You know what? If he goes 0 for 4 with a walk and 3 strikeouts, you know what? You deserve it. We all deserve it. That's what we deserve. But
What are you talking
I
about?
don't know. I'm just talking. No, in terms of process, that's you need to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, at that price tag, it's a very tough fade, even in GPPs. But I mean, obviously, versatility wise, you can if you're making multiple lineups be a fade because he is still going to be highly owned.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but overall, I mean, you look at Moscot. I mean, very small sample size, but 2.63 homers per nine to lefties, 357 WOBA allowed.
Yeah.
In cores against that bullpen, it's 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 so hard to see him going, 0 for 4, not doing a damn thing.
Right. That's kind of what I'm saying. For tournaments, if you insulate yourself with the first 10 making Carlos Gonzalez lineups, then I could see sort of shifting away from that. But if you're making one lineup, no, you know,
Yeah, you usually just
he's
plug
in
him
there.
in.
Yeah.
Yep. Some of these prices, though, are kind of a little bit different from DK as far as guys we liked. Bautista, 4,600. I know it's a lefty,
He,
but that's a little steep for me. I don't
yeah.
mind it in GPP still if you're paying down a pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Miguel Sano, 41. So these guys are kind of a little bit higher
Jay
priced.
Bruce, yeah.
So I still like them in their spots, but I think the DK price tags made it a little bit easier for me to kind of stomach using them because they do have relatively lower floors.
Right. Yeah, I think I'm looking to jump down here. I pay it for Carlos and then get a Cameron Maben or Matt Holiday 3K, something like that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like that range. I like Richuk at 3,200. And as you mentioned, holidays. So those Cardinals bats yet again are very much in play. Um, but I mean, I'll tell you that outfield's kind of a spot where I'm not a big fan of on FanDuel tonight because I think
Mhm.
you pay up, but there's not really anything really low that intrigues me.
Right. So hopefully someone's doing a spot start for 2K and you can throw them in.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of hoping. I mean, Byron Buxton might be that guy at 2,100 facing a lefty, Eric Surkamp. He's going to rejoin the Twins here tonight. So if he's in the lineup, 2,100, he'd be probably that guy to
Mhm.
release some salary with. And with an 8.5 over under, I definitely don't hate it.
Definitely.
So outside of that, I mean, it's a spot where I feel like every outfielder is somewhat overpriced up top.
Hmm. They are.
So, but overall, I mean, Nard Span, Hunter Pence, two Giants bats, who I don't mind at all.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh, so are you coming on the Giants trail tonight?
No, I like them. I like them. I
Yeah.
mean, they're kind of like a fourth or fifth option for me as far as team offense goes, but I definitely don't hate it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we know their upside, and Whistler, I mean, he's pitched well this season, but you look at the opponents and the game logs and who he's gone up against, it's kind of like, all right, now he's facing a real team.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go and wrap things up here with the FanDuel Punch Out. Be sure to check out DailyFantasyCafe.com for all our great tools and content.